This segment of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. Rumors that displaced children are being held at the Ranfurly Home for Children in Need of Immediate Assistance with Clothing has been shut down by the Ministry of Social Services and Urban Development and the administrators of the home. In a statement released by the Department of Social Services, they expressed that these rumors were unequivocally false, without merit, and intended solely to mislead the general public. Chairman of the board of the Ranfurly Home for Children, Alexandria Malis Lynch, added in the release that not only are the rumors untrue, but put kind-hearted persons who believe the rumors in a position to unknowingly break the COVID-19 protocols the home has established since March for the protection of the children. Social Services Minister Frankie Campbell noted that while the home is very thankful for the many donations they have received over the years, Social Services continues to provide all life's necessities such as food, shelter, education, and clothing for all the children who are wards of the state. Acting Labor Director John Pinder suggesting the local economy be reopened in an effort to assist the National Insurance Board as unemployment skyrockets, hitting nearly 50% in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic. NIB has reportedly dished out tens of millions of dollars, with the minister responsible, Brenzel Roll, adding that it can only afford to continue paying unemployment benefits until mid-September.
Secondly, the revenue from NIB has been taking a beating, because it's one thing to be spending out money, but the next thing is to be receiving. And so if they're not in a position to receive money simply because people aren't working, if people aren't working, they can't pay contributions. And so that's why it's important for us to, as best we can, even if we just get the local economy open, I think we can kind of help NIB to some extent. In that, as long as persons are working, then NIB support to them stops and the person starts to make contributions back to NIB.
Asked what employers can do to adapt in these uncertain times, the acting labor director urges business owners to get creative.
For example, just Monday or so, I think I posted the importance of businesses understanding online shopping at this time. And I don't know how people just think. They're going to sit down and just wait for the government to do everything. You see the government talk about curbside and delivery services, and everybody in the Bahamas talking about them doing online shopping, want the government to give the travel exemption to the online shopping. Well, you have to be creative in this atmosphere and in this environment right now. Get some online shopping done in your businesses. You may have to sacrifice a couple $100 to get the infrastructure in place or the software in place, but I think that is the way forward. Throughout the entire world, they're talking about the digital jobs being the choice at this time, and that is what is happening.
The NIB minister recently stated that NIB has paid out $100 million in unemployment assistance since March. Additionally, the agency has serviced some 38,000 individuals who have received or claimed unemployment assistance. Shifting gears in crime news, 2 men and 2 women were arrested yesterday after police uncovered a quantity of suspected marijuana in 3 separate incidents. In the first incident, police say shortly before noon, officers from the Drug Enforcement and K9 units, acting on information, went to Coxway, where they searched a bushy area and recovered the drugs. No arrest was made in this incident. However, half an hour later, officers armed with a search warrant proceeded to a residence on Kenwood Street and Mount Royal Avenue. While there, officers conducted a search of the house in the presence of the occupant. A K9 was deployed, and a short time later, the dog alerted its handler to a gray drum. On closer inspection, officers recovered a quantity of marijuana, and a man was arrested shortly after. And then shortly before 6 p.m., officers from the operations unit, equipped with a search warrant, went to a residence on Sunrise Road, Gamble Heights. They searched the house and recovered suspected marijuana and cash, believed to be the proceeds of crime. A man and 2 women were arrested in connection with this incident. Noted Bahamian psychiatrist Dr. David Allen says that this pandemic has produced a powerful fear. As for the last 5 months, the COVID-19 pandemic has had a major impact on all Bahamians, and their mental state isn't any exception.
What the pandemic has done is produced fear upon us. Now, what happens is when fear comes upon us, we are all vulnerable. And vulnerability is a given for all human beings. No matter what you do, we're vulnerable. We come, we love, we live, and we die. That's a reality. No matter what we do, we're only passing by this world. And so our vulnerability is always there. But when something like a pandemic comes, it connects our vulnerability to fear. Now, vulnerability plus fear gives rise to anxiety. And as the pandemic gets worse, of course, as it's done in the past few weeks, our anxiety goes to panic.
Dr. Allen, who heads Renaissance Institute International and has studied and published extensively on mental health, also explains how fear can impact us in the time of crisis.
That panic means that as the anxiety increases, our IQ drops. And when our IQ drops, we become paralyzed. For example, if you're in a room and there's an open door and you have a panic attack, as your IQ drops, you may feel that you can't get out of the room. So with panic, you're in an open room, but you feel you're in a room that is locked. That's how Bahamians are feeling right now. We're feeling totally panicked, and as a result of that, even though there's a lot of things we can do, we're not doing them.
He's encouraging Bahamians to practice the acronym STOP amidst the crisis about 3 times a day. Stop, take breaths, observe, and proceed. And the Progressive Liberal Party sending birthday greetings to its former leader, Chairman of the PLP, Fred Mitchell, extending the warmest congratulations to former Prime Minister Perry Christie on his 77th birthday. He's speaking on behalf of the PLP's current leader, Philip Davis, Deputy Leader Chester Cooper, and the whole parliamentary team of officers and members. They wished him the very best on this day and going forward. We here at JCN News also extend birthday greetings. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.